All right, so welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a look at Roblox. Let's check it out. We just had earnings, so if you're interested in grabbing my recaps and some insights, definitely check out the Discord channel. Or you can also go and visit our website at TradersFly and grab a bunch of different freebies. Absolutely free. Anyway, so we're going to check out Roblox. Roblox had earnings here coming out. And they say that the stock is crashing because kids are returning to the real world. Okay, well, yes and no. So there's a lot of different things that can happen with earnings. And as I always say with earnings, a lot of times many of the earnings go with the direction of the market. So if the market is acting weak, typically stock will sell off even if it has great earnings. It's just because the natural energy of the market is down. And you can do a lot of different studies on that. If you look at the statistics, that's typically just the way it behaves. There are exceptions, obviously, if a stock explodes with great earnings, then in fact, it can still do well. But you look at most earnings even that are beating in the current conditions, even some of them, they're acting kind of weak. So in that case, you're having problems. Like take a look at Shopify. Anyways, with that being said, let's take a look at Roblox here. We are down about 24% on this stock, basically down 18 points from 70 or so. So that's quite a bit. So you're down 25% on the stock. That's quite a bit. And this could be worrisome. And I want to show you a couple of technicals on this because the stock could go much lower just based on the technicals. So let's start out with kind of the weekly time frame. This is a fairly new stock. It just maybe it's not even a full year old. But there was a lot of hype in it, and because of that, people are interested in it. So when we look at this stock, it had an IPO just not too long ago. And then here we had a sideways move, a little bit up, consolidation, and then a breakout. So if you look at that, that's basically your kind of like A to B, B to C, C to D pattern somewhat. And, we had a movement. But now what we're seeing is we got into that toppy level about 150. I'd say that's probably more of a euphoric area. And then now, if you look at this downward action, this has become our A to B, B to C, and C to D. So this is where it gets a little more worrisome for the stock. We've got a lot of bearish volume that's coming in, and that's a problem with the sell pressure. So if you actually start drawing out some of the general technicals, which is just the psychology, human behavior based on the charts. So that's what it tells you is when you're looking at charts, you're looking at human behavior because people typically take profits at this level. People typically take profits at that level. It's like people congregate into a certain pricing zone, and that's what's going on. So if we look at this from an A to B, B to C perspective, this stock can get into some much lower levels, and that's where it has me concerned. Like if you're looking for a longer term trend in this one, the move was quite heavy, $85 on that move, and then from here to here on that swing point, which is a lighter swing point, about 50 points. So this stock could tank quite a bit into lower levels, and unfortunately there's not a lot of support. And the reason why support is important is because that means buyers will buy more at those levels. So if you had somebody that's basically let's say at a price level of a $10 per share, they say, oh, it's now getting back into a $10 per share, I'll buy more of it. Now with this stock, the IPO was right around, the $60, $65 range, somewhere around there. And now we're getting into below that level. So if you look at a lot of these support levels right there, we have broken it before. We're now breaking it again. So now the line underneath, there's no support, which means it's going to be much more difficult to find a base or support. What you're going to end up doing is kind of going from higher levels to try and finding a sideways area. So you go here, you try and round, and then you'll go back up. It's very rare that the stock will just snap back up. You can take a look at those kinds of things like with, Robinhood. You can see they've been going down. They don't snap up, right? If you take a look at even PayPal here, it's been going down, right? So we've been trending down. We're not even rounding. If you take a look at, just many stocks in general, Netflix that's sold off, the minute we sell off, we're not bouncing straight up. We got a little bounce, but now we got the pullback. So if we look at Roblox here, it's the same issue. Usually you'll see this to follow through for a little while. So I think if you're looking into this, you better be a longer term investor. And because right now it doesn't look like it's stopping very quickly. The energy, the momentum, it looks like it's going to the downside. I think it can last for a little while until they build a little bit of a base. I don't know where that base will be, maybe $30 level, maybe $40 level. it could be starting to come and create, you know, at the $55. That's possible as well. It just depends where buyers will start stepping in, and you never know that until people put money on the line. But the energy of the stock looks weak, so usually it takes a couple weeks for a major move like this for it to kind of digest, and that's where the problem lies within this company. So anyway, other than that, I mean, I think this could be a good takeout candidate, similar to what Activision, what happened with Activision and Microsoft. Like you see, they bought Activision, Microsoft bought out Activision, and for a big, huge kind of deal. So there was Microsoft over here. And I think with the Roblox, I don't know financing and all that, if who would be interested in that. But, you know, it's kind of like Minecraft got bought out. Same thing with these companies. They're kind of like a one, you know, software company that can be sold off. And some of the bigger companies could take that over. Like, you know, they'll start acquiring it, acquisition. To be able to kind of, you know, build out their arsenal. So anyways, that's kind of my take on the stock. I think it's got a lot of weakness. There's a bit of a problem. So for the time being, you know, it's toast. I'd say, hey, take a step aside, be careful, and watch out, because this one's got some problems. I wouldn't even buy the dip. I'd buy, you know, it'd be more like a day trade, couple of trades from a swing trade, like for a maybe bounce. But even then, I'd probably wait like, you know, a day or two to initiate that if you want to put like $100 in and see if it pops and you try and make 75 on it or something. You could do something like that with a vertical spreads, you know, at the money vertical spreads or something like that. But other than that, be very careful with it, because there's just a lot of negative energy right now. Until you get a little bit more of a base or a little turnaround, I think you'll see some weakness in this one. Even if you do get a pop, you might see that pop roll over, you know, a week later or something like that. So anyways, be careful, watch out, you know, stay cautious. And if you want to join us for a class, we've got a nice upcoming class on risk erase for option traders. Check that out on tradersfly.com. You can register. That's coming up this next week. And we got a lot to cover, and if you want to learn a lot more in options, there's a lot of great getting started here on Traders Fly as well. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the recap. Feel free to subscribe or join the Discord channel if you want to request your own ticker symbols to review. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.